This is the Padres POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and look at Dylan Cease. We had to rhyme that one, right? Another tragic outing for maybe the disappointment of the season for the Padres outside of their offense. It's been terrible, and both were on full display tonight in an 8-2 loss to the Diamondbacks that gives the D-backs the 2-1 lead in the series. The finale tomorrow, obviously, and with the Giants and Dodgers both losing tonight and the Diamondbacks gaining a game on the Padres, the NL West gets a little more jumbled up, but man, oh man, another golden opportunity goes by the wayside. So yeah, this is your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I want to thank you for making us your first watch or listen. We're free, of course, right here on YouTube right after the games. And then we upload so you can download Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, you know what I'm saying, iHeart, and anywhere you get your podcasts. And then, of course, we're on Roku. You're down with OTT. Yeah, you know me. It's not OPP. I say it every time. But with a shirt like this, come on. Would a lunatic have a shirt like this? I don't know. Maybe. But, hey, we got to do something to keep the levity with the Padres, man. It has been a meltdown with the offense lately. And unbelievable. Anyway, so 8-2 is the final tonight. And they lose their second game of this series. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. It's your Padres POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, 8-2 the final. What do you say we kick this thing into high gear and get it popping? Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about.
I don't even need to put up the picture, man. Look at Dylan Cease, right? Look at this dude. I mean, maybe he should cease to be in the rotation. This has been bad. This is a guy who finished fourth in the Cy Young voting a year ago. He's got electric stuff, striking out dudes everywhere, but gives up 3 home runs tonight. 4 hit by the Diamondbacks overall. Gavin Sheets hit 1 for the Padres. Their offense anemic against Brandon Pffadt. You know, that's his name. It's Brandon Pffadt. It's the way we say fart in New England, and it's fat. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's his name, and that's what he did to you tonight. He did that on you. I mean, you're talking about, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He gave up the home run to Sheets, but he was great tonight. But every starter looks great against the Padres lately. They won 1-0 last night thanks to an incredible effort from Pffadt and the bullpen. But tonight, this dude right here behind me, again, head down. He's got great hair and a great mustache. That's about it this year for Dylan Cease, who maybe should cease to be in the rotation. He did get you through 6 innings somehow tonight. But again, when you're down 6-0 before you even blink and you can't even do anything, man, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you're down 6-0? It's demoralizing. It's deflating. You know you can't hit anyway. And Preller can talk all he wants about the bottom of the lineup, but Fernando's been god-awful. And I mean god-awful. He still made the All-Star team. That's how great he is. God-awful offensively as far as hitting goes. Hitting for average, hitting for power. Now, he still gets a lot of infield hits, still steals a lot of bags, great on D. Yeah, I get it. And that's why he's an all-star. Get your game on, go play. But you know what? He's been god-awful since the second month of the season, really, because 5 games in March, he was on a tear, 423 or whatever it was. 323 in April, off to a hot start. People talking MVP. And then, right off one of them cliffs on the PCH. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing for Jackson Merrill, who's been in a terrible slump. Bogaerts, $280 million worth of awful. Arise is not hitting up to his normal standards at all. And the one guy who has been great is Manny Machado, and that's it on the offensive side of things. And, defensively, they're a really good team. They're solid. Pitching-wise, the bullpen's great. I don't know how they've held it together as well as they have with the rotation. Thank God for Nick Pivetta. With what Cease has done and not done this year. So it's a crisis, I think, at this point. It's crisis. You're not scoring any runs. Only the Pirates are worse offensively since May 1st. I repeat, only the Pittsburgh Pirates with the negative $30,000 payroll. What was their payroll? It's in the negatives. I know that. I'm joking. I'm being facetious. But, I'm not joking about the Padres offense. The only one worse is the Pirates since May 1st. That's tragic. It really is. And tonight it was on full display again. Let's get to it. And you take a look at this game and what happened. It really was just Cease couldn't pitch, couldn't get anybody out. The home runs, man, he's throwing sliders that are breaking right over the heart of the plate, and your slider's getting pulled. You're a righty throwing to a righty, and your slider's getting pulled for 2 homers. You're leaving it out over the middle of the plate. That thing should be low and away, biting down, and no one should ever pull a slider anywhere except on the ground to the shortstop, literally. And that's, Cease couldn't get that done tonight. But Geraldo Perdomo, yeah, man, grand slam tonight. Suarez, home run number 29. Corbin Carroll got in the HR parade. James McCann as well. Brandon Pffadt, 9-6 on the season. Sorry, I'm a child, but I think you enjoy that, right? 2 runs, 4 hits, career high 8 innings, career high. That's what pitchers do against this team right now. Gavin Sheets, the home run, 437 feet. Yeah, he hit a breaking ball. Congratulations, Sheets. Sheets has been really good this year, but he's like a 6-7 hitter. He's, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't have a position. But Perdomo, Suarez, and McCann hit home runs off Cease. He's 3-9, man. And he still had a bunch of strikeouts. He's got incredible stuff, but he just can't put it together. He can't put it together. The grand slam from Perdomo. 3rd slam given up by Cease. 7 seasons in the majors for him. It's crazy. He's a Boris client, and he's probably going to go somewhere else and get a ton of money. And, I mean, good riddance. Let him have it, and then he'll probably go like 20-4 next year, right, after he does it. But unbelievable, man. And guys are crushing homers into the upper deck. The home run down the line, Carroll's, later in the game was a bullet, man, an absolute bullet. 8 strikeouts and 3 walks in 6 innings for Cease. You see these lines, and you look at the earned runs, you look at the homers, you look at the strikeouts. It doesn't add up, man. Niebla is having a tough time with Cease this year. You're talking about guys like Vasquez and Kolick coming in. They're giving you more than Cease is giving you. This is awful. It is absolutely awful. And they close the series tomorrow. Randy Vasquez, who's 3-4 with 3.79 against Eduardo Rodriguez. But, man, I mean, come on. Cease, he cannot continue to be this horrible. He cannot continue to be this horrible. This is really bad. It's been terrible. And it's time and time again for him. They've needed him to step up with King on the IL. Darvish has been out all year. Perfect opportunity for Cease to shine, take the reins. They probably could have won 4 or 5 more games, but no. He ceased to be in control out there on the mound, unlike Pffadt tonight, which, everybody looks that way against the Padres lately. And again, nobody with more than 1 hit in a Padres uniform. Fernando hitting 250, Ariz at 280, Manny at 280, Sheets 260, Merrill 260, Bogaerts 250, Cronenworth 230. You got Mendoza line being broken by Maldonado. Diaz can't hit. It's just you got nobody in the bottom half of the lineup who can do a damn thing. And this team is sinking, man. Perdomo, 4 RBIs with the grand slam, big one tonight. And again with the Padres 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. They're one of the worst teams in the majors with that. And, you had Peralta tonight do a good job out of the pen. You had Nunez giving up a couple of earned runs, but that was garbage time. Pffadt, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts for Pffadt. And you know what I mean? It's before you blinked, and it's the 5th inning, and it's 6-0. Man, it was 2-0. You're in the game, and then, it's 6-0, and it's just, that's a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. While you're here, please smash that subscribe, add to the family. We are family. Only the Pirates are worse than the Padres. We are family. Willie Stargell, the Pirates, 79 World Series. I know, the gray hairs. I was 7 years old. I went to 3 Rivers when I was 8 the following summer. But when you look at the Padres, they have a beautiful ballpark. They've made big moves every year. Preller's been the man at the deadline, right? They say they would trade Salas. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, given the fact that you cannot hit and you have one of the top prospects in your organization who's a catcher, and your catchers cannot do anything right this year offensively with Diaz and Maldonado. I like them defensively, particularly Diaz. Maldonado, like Javi said last week, I'm not too sure. I'm losing faith in him. But while you're here, smash the subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we're coming away with more content, and come on in to the chat and say what's up to your boy. I'm live on YouTube. If you're with us on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart Podcasts, hey, you can come on and you can subscribe as well, and you can hit us up, and we'll get back to you, as well as the mailbag on YouTube, and we're on Roku as well. Dylan Cease, ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Cease. All right, Padres Postcast and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Coming up on a break, but before we do, we have one thing to hit. It is the turning point of tonight's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
As soon as Dylan Cease decided to give up 3 home runs, but it was the grand slam to Perdomo. And, that came a little later in the game, but that was when the door got slammed shut. The turning point to me is when the door got slammed shut, right? Because 2-0, you still got a shot. You know what I mean? It's still Pffadt. Brandon, he's not the best pitcher in the world, Pffadt, but it's you're down 2-0 and you still have a shot. I want to call this the turning point. It was in the 5th inning, the grand slam from Geraldo Perdomo. Suarez hit a home run as well tonight. But to me, that was the turning point because it ended up being 8-2. They scored 2 more runs later. But at the time, the Padres scored 2 runs. So 2-2, you know what I mean? So that's the turning point, was the grand slam. All right, Padres Postcast and Locked On Podcast Network, your team, San Diego, and beyond every single day. But I don't know what you're going to do about this offense. I don't know what you're going to do about this offense. I don't know what you're going to do about this this performance from Cease. He's got to get things on track. And, he's been terrible since he got hit in the arm. Remember the line drive? All right, we're up against the break, and then we will continue with the player of the game. We'll get you ready for the game tomorrow, the finale. The Pods have to split this one at home. Got the Phillies coming in. They just housed the Giants 13-0 after losing on an in-the-park 3-run homer. The first in the parker hit by a catcher. It was Bailey. First one hit by a catcher in 99 years. 99 problems, but a grand slam. 99 problems, but an inside the park home run by a catcher ain't one. But the Phillies trounced them today 13-0, and you got a lot more coming up with the Phils coming this weekend. But Padres Postcast and the Locked On Podcast Network got a couple of great deals to tell you about from our awesome sponsors, and then we will get right back at it. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, to the final. Padres can't hit. Dylan Cease can't pitch. We'll continue in a moment. But first, wait a second. Where are we here? Aha. This is not going to open the spot for me. Oh, boy. It's not going to open the spot. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. That is not going to open the spot for me. That is crazy. So they told me to use the smaller format tonight. I'm sorry. I'm live. They told me to use the smaller format for the 10 to 20 minute. I didn't even know that existed until today, but it does not have the ability to download the spots, which is something I wouldn't have known until today, as we do that on the old rundown as well. So, all right, there's 30 seconds we're never going to get back, but I do want to tell you about my friends at Open Phone, because if you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. It's the first plumber doesn't answer. What are you going to do? You're not going to wait. You're going to call the next one. That's why having a reliable business line so important. Muy importante. That's why you need Open Phone. The #1 business phone system is Open Phone. It helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. You juggled 2 phones in the past just to keep business and personal calls separate. Open Phone solves that instantly. Your whole team can share one number. You can respond to customers like a shared inbox. No more, hey, you got this? No, I got it. You got it. I don't want it. You take it. No more of that. It's easy. And the AI agent handles the after-hours calls. Hello, may I help you? Answers common questions and captures leads so I never miss a customer again. And right now, hey, it's your tomorrow. Open Phone is offering Locked On Padres podcast and Padres Postcast listeners and viewers 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OPENPHONE. Openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And now I get to tell you about FanDuel. Summer sports in full swing. And whether you're about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. Action on the action, baby. You're already following all that action, so why not make it a little more thrilling, or a lot more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. If it's the same game parlay, letting a bet ride in the 9th inning, FanDuel makes me feel like I'm part of the action. And right now, if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today and visit FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. All right, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. 8-2 the final. The D-backs beat the Padres at Petco, out-hit San Diego 8-4, 2 runs on 4 hits. Last night they scored 1 run and got a brilliant pitching performance just to steal a win in the series. Any other game they probably would have lost with that, obviously with just that 1 run. But the Diamondbacks scored 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. The Padres 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th. The 7th inning was a home run by Gavin Sheets. The 5th was an RBI ground out by Johnson, and he's been all right. You know, I mean, they just don't have anybody past the 4-hole or the 5-hole. I mean, they just don't. And even their stars, you know, Manny and Merrill, and Fernando's a leadoff guy, but those guys are Manny and Merrill. You know, they're not. I just don't think they're 3-4 hitters. Manny's maybe a 3 at this point. I'd still leave Manny in the 3-hole. I don't know. I'm mixed on that. I'd rather see Manny in the 5 spot, honestly, and get a couple of rakers ahead of him with Merrill hitting 6th and then Sheets down there. But that's just me. That would be an embarrassment of riches like the Dodgers have, and that's why they have a 5-game lead when they've been throwing out the popcorn vendor and the beer guy to pitch for them this year. You know what I'm saying? And they're talking about trading for Paul Skeens now. Good Lord. I mean, come on. The rich get richer, right? That's the American way. Now it is anyway. So 5 games back are the Giants, 6 games back are the Padres, and Arizona creeping up 9.5 games behind first place. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. Nice pace to the show tonight. Thanks to my guy Sam for helping me out with that. Appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you for being here. Again, 8-2 the final. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, and it's not going to be a Padre, but we have to do it. So
this is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I mean, I don't even want to be honest with you. I don't. I mean, is that okay? I don't want to. I do not want to name a player of the game. Player of the game is Dylan Cease if you're a Diamondbacks fan. I mean, how about that? Could we do that? Instead of giving it to a D-Bags player, could we give it to Cease and just say, hey, Cease did more to win the game for Arizona than any Arizona player did? Is that too harsh? I don't think so. We don't work for the team. We don't have skin in the game. We don't get credentials. We don't get paid from them. We just do what we do for you. This is your instant reaction. And I'm saying my instant reaction is Cease stinks. That's what my instant reaction is. He's terrible this year. And he is. He's terrible this year. And he would say it himself, I'm sure. And if he wouldn't, he needs to learn how to be honest with himself because self-awareness is king. No Padre deserves a mention here. I mean, did anybody play well tonight? No. How about Wandy Peralta? A scoreless inning with 3 strikeouts. There you go. Wandy is our player of the game for the Pods tonight. And Pffadt is the player of the game for the Diamondbacks. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs for Brandon Pffadt. Still sounds like a Bostonian describing a bodily function. I'm sorry. Every time I hear his name, it's like I'd crack up like a 5-year-old if I were calling the games like, what? Ooh, boy. You know what I mean? It's, oh, man, the pitch misses and Pffadt says, excuse me, to the umpire. You know what I mean? We have to have fun with this, don't we? It's Padres POSTCAST, and they got smoked again tonight because Cease can't pitch and the team can't hit. So, hey, they've left me with nothing as far as material when it comes to talking about what they did tonight. So we have to make fun of Pfaadt's name all night on the show. Why not? I mean, I'll be a 5-year-old all night and we'll have fun with this. But seriously, all jokes aside, man, just a terrible night for the Padres. They got a safe face tomorrow. Got the Phillies coming after that. You got Vasquez on the mound. And for the Diamondbacks, you have, I mean, they're hanging around, right? They're hanging around. And every pitcher looks great against the Padres lately. That's the problem, is everyone looks amazing against them. And, you know, that's really hard to, it's difficult because they're not a good hitting team. So when you look at the next day's pitcher and you're looking at their numbers and their performance, you almost have to take it with a grain of salt with the Padres because you have to factor in how bad their lineup is. And the D-backs are a -155 favorite. They opened that on the money line. Now they're at -125. So the money coming in on the Pods, the run line -1.5 for the D-backs, +1.5 for the Padres with Eduardo Rodriguez, 3-5 with a 5.78 against Randy Vasquez, 3-4 with a 3.79, 640. First pitch from Petco, and we will be on live on YouTube right after the game. Upload so you can download right after Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple, iHeart, and then, of course, Roku. You know, with OTT, yeah, you know me. This whole party, 4 homers hit by the Diamondbacks tonight. 4, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. No Owen Padres. Cease ripped. D-back Stingers. Sheets goes deep. Game 4 tomorrow against Arizona. Oh, the deadline rapidly approaching. The All-Star break coming up too. Yeah, maybe the break will help them. Maybe they should bury their bats or do rituals like Serrano. Help me now. I say, Ujobu. Something like that. I don't know. Offensively, they need something. They need like a whole trip full of slump busters. Maybe they should call Mark Grace. They need something. All right, this Padres team. That's all there is, Padres fan. There is no more. 8-2 the final. The Diamondbacks win, and they take a 2-1 lead in the series. And again, they creep up on the Padres in the standings. They're only 2.5 behind them now. The Pod's still a game behind the Giants at 6 games out. Thank you for making our show your first watch or listen today, Locked On Padres Podcast or Padres Postcast. For your second one, check out Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season. Local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And for God's sake, just keep sending out those positive vibes for Dylan Cease and the San Diego Padres. And thank you so much for being here. Until next time, Padre fan, keep your head up, keep your game tight, and your mind right, baby. We are out.